The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now listening to the Allen and DJ Show on 103.5 FM WLSP-LP, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. We're here to talk about self-improvement, lifestyle, and becoming the very best version of yourself.
You're now listening to the Allen and DJ Show.
Yo, 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 Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas. Y'all know what time this is. Station of the year, of course. The Allen and DJ TV show program. And, of course, we go by the name Allen.
And this is your boy, DJ.
DJ, what's popping, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. You know, ever since that last episode, you know, I've been going through it, you know. And then you treat a lot of two people at the same time. It better just be me. And, you know, I'm trying to do this, man. I've been in the gym harder lately. Thanks for helping me, you know what I'm saying, so far shave off my first couple of pounds, you know.
Oh, no problem.
11 to 12 down so far. And I'm just going through it. And I'm trying to stay focused, man. And, you know, Bambi the deer been stressing me out. And I said, Bambi, I'm going to take you to the forest and we're going to, I told you, I'm sorry that I didn't get enough deer meat, but I'm trying. And, you know, Bambi just stressing me out, man. And sometimes, you know, I just, you know what, bro, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that today. Let's talk about strategies of staying focused even when you fail. Because sometimes we do feel like we all fail at times, and, you know, it can really be hard, man. So
Absolutely.
Without further ado, let's kick it to them the way that we know how to kick it to them.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about bullet point number 1, implementing a 3-step reset.
Ooh.
Now, DJ, fire at him with this one, man. Let's go,
right.
man. Let's
Like,
go.
Before we give you the 3 steps, like, we'll just tell you, like, why is this important first? Like, the reason why, like, we have to implement the 3-step reset is basically, like, what it does is, like, it interrupts the mental spiral that happens, like, when you do fail. So basically, like, it prevents the frustration, and it prevents you from, like, making, like, any type of mistake. So, like, when you do make a mistake or whatever like that, like, it prevents you from, like, going into that deep, deep hole of, like, constantly pondering on it.
And I agree, you know, like, when it comes to implementing the 3-step reset rule for me, you know, sometimes if you lose focus, just take that time and acknowledge, like, dog, you know what, D, I'm not focused right now. I'm tripping. Or Will, I got you, bro. We'll get on us about, hey, man, like, know y'all cues, bro. Do this, do that. I'm tripping. So let me acknowledge that. And if I'm out of focus, I might take a 10-second break. And sometimes, like, you might be like, what the heck you doing? Like, I might stretch. I might do some deep breathing exercises. Or people say I was crazy at work and I have to go like this all the time.
You sleep.
You know, oh, yeah, like, you sleep. I know you sleep. And I ain't messing on people's names, but they used to mess with me back then. Or sometimes just stretch, you know what I'm saying? You might just need to loosen up a little bit and start with very small tasks to try to build that momentum.
Absolutely. Like, when you basically fail, like, what happens is, like, when you make that particular mistake, like, your brain naturally replays that mistake over and over and over again, creating, like, a mental loop. Meaning, like, that loop, what that loop does is, like, it's like a replay button, and all of a sudden, like, it keeps you stuck analyzing the past.
So and like a lot of you're an athlete too. So
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
a lot of athletes used to have this a lot. You know, I remember when I first met DJ. You know, like, he mentally at the time, you know, he had the best talent to me in the world. Strong, could do whatever, run with the best on, the fastest I've seen. I used to try to compare other athletes to him to say, man, you can't beat this person or you can't beat that person, and, you know, DJ would dust them. But mentally, at the time, you know, I was always strong mentally, and I wasn't the best physically. And, you know, like, we helped each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I was like, D, man, you know what I'm saying? You got to be that dog. You know, like, okay, you messed up on that play. I know you wanted that interception. You didn't get it, okay? Let's move on. Next play. Focus, man. Lock in.
Absolutely.
And then eventually, he'll go out there and get 2 or 3 interceptions. So I said that to say this, or vice versa with me. I want to be number one at everything so bad that sometimes you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm mad. Or, you say, man, you can't do that, Al. And, it messes with me psychologically. And sometimes like anything that a person will say, it will play over and over and over in my head.
Absolutely.
And they used to say, hey, you know what? Like, man, you got to get out of that. Okay. They doubting you. So what you going to do about it?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you going to sit there and cry like a fat slob, Al? Or, you know what I'm saying, you're going to turn that pain into triumph. And, like, sometimes, like, we did very small things. And it helped me build up momentum. Then eventually I started forgetting about those thoughts that was in my head. Or, like, when they would come back because I make a mistake, I say, okay, it's another challenge. What are you going to do about it?
Absolutely. And, like, the 3-step reset, basically, like, it follows these 3 steps. Basically, you want to, like, in order for you to get through that failure, is basically, like, you want to do 1, release, meaning, like, you want to actively, like, release the mistake by, like, using, like, physical or verbal cues, like a clap, breathing techniques, or even some type of movement.
Mm-hmm.
2 is reset, meaning, like, you want to ground yourself, do deep breathing and other grounding activities. Like, and what that basically does is it recenters your mind.
Most def.
And then 3 is refocus, meaning, like, you want to direct your attention to what's important and how it helps you prevent more. It prevents you from, like, going into, like, a fog state, and it pushes you forward.
No, like, most definitely. And then also with bullet point number 2, how to use the Pomodoro technique. And, this is something different. This is something like people are like, yo, man, what the heck is that? Well, you can have many different ways on how you want to put it, but I say work for 20 to 25 minutes followed by a 5-minute break. Sometimes you just got to take a break and just retool.
Absolutely.
Or, like, DJ the best at this in a group. Would you say, okay, everybody, look, like, everybody tripping right now. We're going to take 5, let's retool, and let's get back to it. And then also disrespects the brain natural attention span from preventing burnouts.
Mm-hmm. Like, when you use this particular technique, like, what it's designed to do is it basically, like, protects your focus and mental energy, and it supports resilience and consistency. And this is the technique that you use when you're in the don't think stage. Like, certain athletes have this and certain athletes don't have this, meaning that certain athletes, they get into the don't think stage, meaning that they get into a mode to where, like, they're untouchable. Can't nobody stop them. They flowing naturally like water. Yeah. And can't nobody stop them in that moment, and they're untouchable, and that's their superpower, which can't nobody unlock except for them.
And we call that getting in the zone.
Yep.
Those times when we was creating the show, and before we knew it, like, we wrote like 20 shows. It was like in the zone. And we was like, I don't know what that was, but I tapped into something. And, it's like a superpower that everybody has inside them that you tap into. Like, okay, LeBron James, Game 6 against Boston, 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. When the world was about to write him off and everything, he tapped into something. It was a superpower. It was kind of like, I got it to the don't think stage, just trying stuff for, like, 1-foot angles, that bad angles. Everything was going in, right? Yep. Or one time when I saw DJ, it was the semi-pro game, and he was clipping people so hard. And I'm like, dog, this dude is having an incredible game, because the game before that, he didn't. And people was getting in his head, oh, DJ, man, I knew you wasn't strong enough, D. I knew you couldn't do it. So D was like, okay. I'll never forget, the night before we went to his game, man, Will was scared as hell. I ain't gonna lie. He was picking up every weight. It was so heavy. I'm like, how did you picking up the whole thing? And he was like, dog, I just didn't feel it. I just blanked out. And I just got it to the don't think stage. So I said, well, use that out there on the football field. And then it was just like, you was just a whole nother person. And I'm like, I don't know what you tapped into, but you got to do that again. And he laughed like, man, you know, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. You know, it's the don't think stage.
Absolutely. But what this technique also does is like it basically reduces cognitive overload, which stems from like a lot of people overthinking too much and putting too much in their head before they go out and do what they do. And like it builds momentum and it also builds momentum through small wins. But like it also prevents burnouts too, man, and adapts to like setbacks, meaning like whatever setback is happening on the field or whatever like that, like it might start raining. That's a setback. Yeah. Meaning like people can slip and fall. Like that setback still is not going to trigger you because you're in that don't think stage to where like no elements or no anything is going to get in my way of like making these tackles.
No, fair enough, man. And, you know, let's all talk about to adapt a growth mindset. So, you know, this should be at a point now, DJ, where we understood we implemented the 3-step reset rule. Now we're talking about using certain techniques to get into the don't think stage.
Absolutely.
Now, as a person, master the don't think stage, because, you know, it's hard to stay focused when you fail, and you know you just got everything in life just like it's crumbling down on you.
Absolutely.
How can you adapt a growth mindset at this point?
What a lot of people should do is like basically like when you're so programmed to like look at failure and then like you repeat it over and over again, like what that does is it basically gets you to the point to where like you're replaying it over and over again, and once you replay it over and over again, then you're going to constantly keep making that mistake, and instead of you like moving forward, you're staying stuck in the past. But when you develop that growth mindset, what it does is like it changes how you interpret that setback.
Yeah.
And like what it also does is like it helps blind you from like seeing that failure, or you seeing that failure as a failure and you're seeing it as like an actual learning experience.
Most definitely, man. You know, when it comes to that, you know, with an adapt growth mindset, you have to refrain from failure as a necessary step for just learning. You know, like you have to take all your L's and look at it as like, okay, this is just a learning process. I mean, I'm not going to always keep going through this, and not use it as a reflection of your worth. You know, so you have to know, like, okay, at the end of the day, I know my value. I know what I could bring to the table. Today, I just wasn't the best version of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know what? We lost because, man, maybe I ain't do enough. Maybe I didn't go hard enough. But what can I do to go forward? To show that, hey, you know what? Like, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to have an adapt growth mindset. I'm not going to look at failure as an option. I want to say, man, you know what? I'd be dang if I lose everything, but I'm not losing this. I got to go more harder. I got to do more research. You got to study the greats so you become better than the greats.
Absolutely.
So you look who's at the top of the food chain, and don't be afraid to attack. Have a growth mindset. Ask questions. Man, how did you do that? Man, like, is there anything that you could give me advice on that like I should be implementing in my show and you get better?
Absolutely. But like when you adapt a growth mindset, also like you basically like support long-term focus and adaptability, but you also see failure as feedback and make adjustments, meaning like you see it as like, okay, I made this mistake, so I got the criticism and now I'm going to make the adjustments at halftime, and now the second half I'm going to become better at what I did in the first half.
Because, like, I'm looking at it like I look at life as everything is like basketball, right? You could have had a bad first half. Or like D, he plays in my pro football. You had a bad first half, okay. You see it in athletes. Walk down and out, like, man. Or let's say, you know, we might have had a bad 15 minutes of a show. Man, dog. Hey, no, pick your head up, bruh. Okay. That happened. We got to get past that. You always got the second half to go out there and redeem yourself. And that's what, to me, you start to adapt a growth mindset to say, okay, I I didn't do enough today. Maybe we just wasn't the best version of ourselves today, but we're not gonna let that one show or that one game define us. We're gonna figure out different ways and implementing on getting better.
Absolutely.
And then bullet point 4, man, just you need to change your environment.
Yeah. Hey, some people do actually need to do this. Like, but what changing your environment does sometimes is it reshapes like your habits. It reduces distractions and it resets your mindset. But I'm gonna give you an example, but like I'm not gonna give you the name of the person, but I'll let you know like after the show, like
yeah, for sure.
who this person is or whatever. Like, give me 1 second. I got you.
Yep. You know, no, but that's true. Like people do need to change their environment because your environment could be the biggest thing that is like holding you back in life.
Absolutely. But like, without naming the person, like you know who it is, right?
Yes,
Got
sir.
it. Okay. Like the example is like this person that played in the WNBA or whatever. Like she was on one team, right? And like she was the star of the team, but like she started to like get like on field and off field issues, and they forced a trade. And she went to another team. And she went to a different environment where like she already got some killers over there and she already got some winners over there.
Yeah.
And now it's like she's blending in perfectly because like she's having a great season despite her being the third wheel.
For sure, man. You know, sometimes like change is good. It's like certain environments you like, dude, I can't thrive in, or you know, I can't win in this environment. Or you know, you ever been in certain houses where you feel like the energy is just not right in here. Like, well, I'm just like I'm not progressing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you change your environment, it's time to move to a new quiet location, and that helps you to eliminate distractions. It signals your brain that hey, okay, I'm in a new environment. I'm happy. It's time to work. It's time to let's get to it. You know, it's time to handle this business. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's why you have to change your environment sometimes.
But like also like what changing your environment does too is it basically like improves concentration, it reduces cognitive overload, and it breaks routines.
Yeah. So, you know, it breaks the normal. You know, like the same old two-step, right? And changing your environment sometimes, like, you could start discovering who you are as a person. Like, you might say, oh, like, I didn't know I could do this. When I was in the other team or, like, when I was in the other setting, I didn't have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I couldn't be a leader. I feel like I couldn't grow. But now that I moved to this job or this gig, I'm thriving. And I'm learning different type of capabilities that I have within myself to know that, hey, you know what, like I am a winner. Just because I was under this person was just dimming my light.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I got out and did my own thing, I changed my environment. You start hanging around a creative mindsets that are just like you and people who are going to hold you accountable and push you every single day. You can't do nothing but get better at what you do.
Absolutely.
And you're going to start getting more successful and you'll get more focused.
Absolutely.
And then let's talk about managing your physical state.
Oh, this is important, man.
Why is this important though, DJ?
Because like what failure does is like failure can stress you out, making you physically weak. And when you're physically weak, you make physical errors and you make mental errors.
Boy, we know that. We know that. Like that. I mean, they're just like you and LeBron James used to piss me off, D. Because I can tell you why, because like y'all had the best talent, like y'all was the best out there on the team.
Yeah.
But and maybe like I wanted you to be who I wanted you to be, and you knew that. It's sometimes
figure look.
right. I was like, dude, cuz it's same thing with Will at work.
Yeah.
Sometimes he pee me off, like because Will very great at what he do. But sometimes we'll be like, I just don't feel like doing it today. Like, I play when I want to play. And you're like, dude, no. Like, you can't have that mindset.
No.
And, like, it makes you mad because you like, here go D again, giving up. Best player out there on the field. D will step back. Man, I'm going to let him get that ball. Because we might have had a disagreement with the coach or LeBron when he game 3 of the 2011 finals.
Yeah.
He gave up. Wade yelled at him, and what happened? He just started walking up the court slow. Nah, you score. I gave up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that could make your whole physical stature look bad. Same thing with me. If things didn't go my way, hey, I quit this stupid team. I give up. Or like when like the girls used to mess with me at work sometimes, and you know they say things to me that usually get in my head, and you know coach used to keep me strong.
Yep.
But you know like they say something, I just leave out of the line. I quit. You do it all, and
Absolutely.
that's not the way to be. And, you know, it made my body language sit like, you know, instead of sitting upright, I would sit slouch. But I just tell people, like, take breaks, man. Exercise, increase your alertness and focus, man. And just, you know, fix your posture. Because if somebody says you can't do it and you just, you know, he said that I can't, so I don't think that I am. And your whole body language just got the sign of I gave up.
Yeah.
Then that's your physical stature. It's not going to be right. And that can start affecting your mental.
Absolutely. Like you want to maintain your mental state, but like you also want to maintain your physical state, because like once you lose your mental state, like your physical state is going to automatically go. But also like you want to maintain that physical state because other people on the outside see that you're physically weak, then they might try you.
Dude, like, that hurt. Like, man, come on, bro. Like, no, but it's serious though. You know, like you're right. Like, or they can say something and your whole body language is like you caved in.
Yep.
So people gonna try you. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna tell dude this, 'cause dude catching on to stuff, and you know you look physically weak. So people gonna try you, and that's not what you want. Like, always make sure, you know what I'm saying. Like even in the eyes of defeat, sometimes you gotta just sit back and just take it on the chin and say, all right, you know, I won the best version of myself today.
Yep.
I'm gonna retool and I'm gonna be better tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And the last bullet point is focus on the process, not the outcome.
Mm.
And we talk about this a lot too, Will. You know, like at work or like even in the gym. You know, we always talk about focusing on the process. You must fall in love with the process.
Absolutely.
But why, DJ?
Because like when you enjoy the process, like basically like what happens is like the process gives you a reason to like move forward. Basically, like it gives you a why. It gives you a reason to like push forward.
I agree. Like, you know, like when you focus on the process and not the outcome, you focus on what you can control.
Yeah.
And don't focus on what you cannot control. And your efforts and your next action should rather be the thing that you look forward to instead of like assessing over past failures. Like, man, I already felt that 3 times already, DJ. No, bro. I'm not doing that machine. Bro, stop that. Man, okay, that was last week, dog. You messed up. Man, bro, man, everybody was laughing at me, bro. No, so you focusing on past failures.
Absolutely.
Instead of just saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to take action. I'm going to, I'm going to focus on little small tasks to help me get a little bit more stronger so I can build that momentum to go back to what I failed at in the first place and I conquer it.
Absolutely. But like also like when it comes down to like the process too, like when you start to enjoy the process and not enjoy the outcome or the results, you're going to eventually like it's going to become routine to where like you get to the point to where like you're just going to not think about it and just do it, and you're just gonna constantly do it. Even when you're sick of it, you're still gonna do it because like you're just enjoying the process and the grind and the game. And once you get to that outcome, then you're gonna feel more accomplished because you went blood, sweat, and tears for this.
You know, that's what I'd say. You know, like if y'all don't know this, go get the book by Tim S. Grover called Relentless. You got to be relentless at what you do. You could be good, you could be great, or how we say in our team, we want to be freaking unstoppable. And if you want to be unstoppable, then, you know, you must focus on the process and fall in love with the process and make sure you always going to get that end result, because don't nothing matter but the end result. And that's the outcome of the situation. But we're not going to just always just look at the outcome right away. Like, we know what we want the outcome to be. That's why you set the goal to get to the outcome.
Absolutely.
Or you set the goal to get to that end result. But in order to get to the end result, you must fall in love with the process. And it's not going to be easy. You know, like, you have to relentlessly every day keep going at it. Or like how Will say, like he reaching for something. I can't stop till the end result is at hand. You know what I'm saying? But until it was in your hand, just like how we wanted that championship, we didn't stop till the end result was at hand. So, yeah, you're going to feel. I think our first year, man, we sitting back watching everybody win championships. We was just looking like, man, did we suck or what? And we knew that we believed in ourselves. We believed in each other. We believed in Sun Prairie Media Center. And we focused on the process every day. And was just to get every show out here, including ours, better and better. And the outcome was great. So use that as motivation. And let's end it here with Alan and DJ's final thought. DJ, what's your final thought when it comes to somebody out there listening tonight that feels like they need to stay focused, but they keep failing at things?
No matter what, man, like everything that you try in life, like it's going to be a point to where like you're going to fail, but like you really fail if you just give up and don't do anything about it. That's the real failure. But if you just be consistent and keep going after what you need to go after and enjoy the process and implement the 3-step reset and develop the growth mindset, then you'll be able to eventually accomplish what you need to accomplish, but everything takes time.
Most definitely. And, just, implement certain techniques and, certain adapt growth mindsets that you need to have to become the very best version of you. And sometimes if you got to get away from certain people, change your environment up. You got to get around winners, not losers, not people who going to keep dimming your light. You need to get around people who going to say, hey, you slipping today. I know you could do that, man. You tripping. You better than that. Or, man, you said we on a diet, right, man? Why you eating that? Nah, you know what I'm saying? We got goals here. So change your environment, and that'll help you change your mindset. And most importantly, focus on the process, and don't always really focus on don't always look towards the outcome until the outcome is there. Focus on the process and fall in love with the process. And once you do that, you just became the very best version of yourself. Now, this is the Alan and DJ Show. You can find the Alan and DJ Show at gmail.com if you have any questions about what you want us to talk about next. You can also find the Alan and DJ Show on YouTube and on our fan page on Facebook. You can find William J. Smith, our extraordinary producer, on Instagram and Facebook. Yep. You can find yours truly, Alan Hutchinson, on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, man, we got the best producer in the house, man. Just like the Bulls, man. We're going to keep winning these championships because we're going to go for a 3-peat. And we're going to stay well. We're going to stay healthy.
Peace.